Hello. Okay, we're back. We're good. We're good. I don't know what happened there, Bill. I don't know if we were cut out for the entirety or what happened or not, but I think we're good.
If we are, main commentator to my left is Kaden McCrory. I'm Billy Depew. Welcome to Robert Morris's home opener. As you've been watching, they are down 2-0 already to a Penn State squad. Both goals coming from leading goal scorer Brendan Reitz, who has 7 on the year already. Had 5 coming into this game. Great stop there from Maratska.
Yeah, hopefully I think it was maybe a minor. If not, the back-to-back champion Colonials hosting Penn State Behrend, who was their only loss last season, but also they did get a win, so splitting 1-1, and they'll have another game against these Lions later on. As Billy mentioned, Reitz, the 2 goals. He had 5 prior. He's up to 7. Colonials have looked good, though, to start.
Absolutely.
Besides the 2-0 deficit.
I agree. Penn State's goals have kind of came off a win, so to speak. I think Robert Morris has done a really good job controlling the puck, getting good shots on net. They just have to convert. There's another one there.
Riffner at the point. Looks, fires, with no screen in front. Goes wide of the netminder Gusky. Behind in that 2, pick it up is Burge. Looks to send it around. Kravitz waiting there, the sophomore wearing number 8. Looks to go down low with it. Kravitz will pick it up. Kravitz looking. Rolls behind the net with it. Looks to muscle off one, sends it behind the net to the captain, Nate Barr. As a battle ensues along the dot, and out with it comes the Lions. Sent back in. And behind that, picking up Penn State. Antonellis all over him. Defensive partner Riffner to pick it up for the Colonials. At the blue line, McCombs sends it forward to Lunger. Riffner gets a stick in there, has some help coming in off the bench. Owen Romano escapes for RMU. Sends it out wide for Zeiss Miller. Chips it forward for Chris Conley ahead of his stick. The Lions will go D-to-D. To center ice, Lunger. Pushing it forward. Coming in with a huge tech is Chris Conley. To the point. Noah Guidas. Outside the zone for McCombs, who will retreat all the way back. Back to Guidas. Looking to go through center ice, goes to a Colonial advantage. As they'll go along the wall to Zeiss Miller. He'll chip this one, no icing. The Lions looking to clear. Conley once again making his presence known.
And he has done it early, Caden. You know, obviously this is a squad that they've played before, but the first impression is the best impression. We'll say the first impression is this first period. This Colonial squad definitely is out-aggressing this Penn State squad, and they have to continue to do that. Just wear them down. That's how you win games like this, especially being down 2-0 early.
Zach Conley coming in. Shot goes wide. Owen Romano to pick it up just beyond the blue line. Rolls all the way down. Maraska will let this one roll off to his side and get some help there from Dominic Bucci. Bucci for Zeiss Miller, stretched forward. Onside will put this one into the corner. Has one coming off the bench in Bryce Maraska. He'll finish his check, the young freshman in his first career game. Zach Page, the senior, sends it along the wall for Maraska. Or Drass, excuse me. Stretch pass across. Shot coming in off of Bucci, stopped by Gusky. Reitz, the goal scorer, twice. Penalty coming up on the Lions. Yes, it will be the Lions. Or maybe the Colonials. Both teams touched it. I thought there was going to be a call there.
I thought the Zebras had an arm up there. I guess not.
I guess hand pass.
We'll play on.
As that one bounces off the back of Maraska and in. Not sure who will get credit, but Maraska a little trouble with that one. And it's 3-0 Penn State Behrend.
Just a bit of misfortune to start early for this RMU squad. Obviously, a shot on goal is a good shot, so to speak, but just misfortune in the net so far. 2 goals that have either been pretty much, deflection off the boards and pretty much in the net, easy opportunities all around. But Maratska's got to keep his head up, mentally and physically. You got to keep your eyes on the puck, and you got to keep your head up, especially being down 3-0 already. There's a ton of hockey left.
You want to take a guess who got the goal? Brendan Reitz. That's his
Reitz.
third in a row, so the natural hat trick. for number 20, Brendan Reitz. Sent in off the stick of Nick Miles, the sophomore. For the Colonials, now down by 3. I think the aggression has to pick up. Here's Riffner, the leading goal scorer last season, 17 goals, 34 points for the assistant captain. Looking in front for an opportunity. As looking to body away with it are the Colonials. Tulio DiDomenico in his first career game. There's a shove from behind by Pierce. Referee's arm comes up. And to the power play go the Colonials, as wise words of advice, do not take the penalty in front of the stripes.
Yeah, and that's a dumb one, man. I'll just put it blunt. That was a pretty dumb penalty. There was no need to do that. That was Logan
Pierce.
Your handwriting sucks.
I know. I know.
Well, it's not your fault. Penn State didn't send us rosters. I almost called him Logan Pierce. That was not a smart penalty, and that leads for an opportunity. A door is open for Robert Morris. I'd have to imagine that you have to get one here. You have to get at least one before this period ends, or else this game could get out of hand really quickly.
Antonellis to the point to Riffner. Parked in front is Kravitz. As out here as well as Nate Barr and Carter Bosong, the top pair defensively and on the forwards. Bosong to retrieve on the wall. Works his way back to the blue line to Riffner. Looks for a lane. Fires one on. Shoulder stop Gusky. Riffner. Caught in his skates. Rebound in front for Barr. Loose in the crease. Riffner chips to get that one in. Gusky says no. Referee blows this one dead with a $1:28 to go on the penalty.
Caden, it is crucial that the Colonials keep this in Penn State's or the Nittany Lions. I don't even know if that's what they are, but we'll say that's what they are.
They said Lions in the beginning, so I'm just going to say Lions.
Yep. It's important to keep it in the Lions' own end throughout this entire minute 28. One dump pretty much wipes out a possession here, so got to keep the shots on net, got to keep pepper in, and hopefully one goes in.
Same unit staying on for Coach Bosong. Win off the draw. Penn State picked it off momentarily off the stick of Alex Lunger. Here's Riffner starting the rush for the Colonials. Work his way back to the point. Goes across for Kravitz. Deflect in front by Bosong as Barr will meet a couple lines in the blue paint as Gusky covers this one up.
Good save there from Gusky. You know, you got a couple guys in your face, and the Colonials.
Actually, you see the Lions coach and the referee exchanging some words. As they're going to try to figure it out, but you got to be careful here. He's the only coach on that bench as well.
I did not notice that until now. Yeah, you can't. I mean, I guess they could play without a coach. Out in front, there it is.
Carter Bosong on the back door with Nate Barr feeding it in front. And the Colonials get a power play goal off the stick of their top junior, Carter Bosong.
Yeah, and, you know, that was a very unselfish and great vision play there by Nate Barr. Could have easily took that himself. Just went wide instead down low, and a great tap in, an easy tap in for the Colonials, and that one was a big one.
The power play continues to do wonders for this D4 team. It's been one of their strong suits all of last season, as well as their penalty kill. That has gone a couple goals as well. Zeiss Miller looks to wrap it around. Bochy throws it around the wall for Chris Conley. Takes the check for Page. Looks to go up to Zeiss Miller. Has some help there from Conley. Gives it back off to Zeiss Miller. Shot coming on. Morozka will stop and will hold up on that one. John Wayne Kravitz getting the secondary assist on that power play goal. So it'll read those songs from Barr and Kravitz.
And Caden, one thing I really liked from the Colonials was the rebound after losing the puck to start the possession. That puck did not cross center ice, and I think that's ultimately why they were able to get it done in the Lions' end, was just because they were able to rebound and able to get that puck right back in where they left off.
Loose chance in front, looking to clear out through the Colonials. They'll take this one up. Looking for the pass through the middle to Bryce Morozka, would not go. And now coming back are the Lions with numbers. Looking to get around one, shot coming on, and sneaks its way in. Jacob Hanna gets the corner of Maraska, and it's 4-1 Penn State Behrend.
Yeah, and it all started with him beating Braden Wolf around the corner, and he was able to go top shelf there. I believe it was top shelf, right around the corner. That's a tough save there for Maraska. You can't leave a guy one-on-one down low, especially with the opportunity to pass across. Didn't need to, was able to go top shelf, and now it is a 3-goal game in favor of the Penn State Lions.
Last night, the D4 team scrimmaged the D3 team. You wonder if the somewhat cold legs they had last night saying, oh, we need it for a game to just get loose. Maybe didn't do as much help as they thought it would, especially early on here. Logan Pierce goes D-to-D with this one. As Drass gets lit up in front of the Penn State bench. A reverse beauty from Sean Taylor. Turning the other way go the Colonials. Just sending this one in. On the retrieval, Drass. Taylor gives it off for Pierce. To the blue line, kept alive. Shot coming in. Easy stop for Gusky. And Klim will have some friends to meet him in front of the referee.
And man, Sean, I don't want to sound like favoring the away, but what a hit by Sean Taylor, man. I mean, wasn't even moving. He was flat-footed there and was able to get him on the ground. Phenomenal hit. But again, the Colonials, as I alluded to earlier, were able to rebound and get the puck right back in their own end and able to put a stoppage on it, and we're still down here.
Battling away is DiDomenico. Looks to push it to the side to McFarland. Caught in front of our camera, a beautiful shot there.
Look at that.
McFarland.
Look at that shot there. Way to go.
Beautiful job by Sam Palmer, the cameraman over there. Poking it free. As Cotton escapes, eventually pushed into the corner. Nick Miles on the chase. Pushes it behind the net. DiDomenico stands his ground. As this fourth line for the Colonials, looking to just provide a spark for their team. Alex Lunger, drop pass for Steele. Sends it around the wall, looking for the stick of Jacob Milton. Turned over the Colonials' end. And DiDomenico. Skies it to center, to Riffner. Loses it off the deflection. Colonials will have to touch up. Riffner doesn't like to call himself a defenseman. He calls himself a two-way player. Offensive and defensive-minded. Putting one on the Colonials, blocked away on the Bosong attempt as he'll go down to the far wall. Lions look to clear. Colonials there to pick it off in the defensive zone. Bucci skies it forward for Kravitz ahead of his stick. And now here come the Lions again. Milton loses it to Nate Barr. And now Riffner chasing it down. Barr caught in his skates in front. Shot attempt off the front of the stick of Bosong as he gets dragged down in front.
And there was an opportunity there for Bosong. That one goes wide. Just could not get the full blade of his stick on that puck. Great pass from Barr. And there's a hit.
Oh, John Wayne Kravitz wants to join in on the hit parade. It's now a race for the icing. Zach Page to it. Lions bench and arms. I think that was very close. But I think Page may be a centimeter step ahead there.
A close call indeed. Caden, you mentioned that the D3 and D4 squads ended up scrimmaging yesterday. I think the style of play for both sides, for Penn State and for Robert Morris, I think some of that fatigue from yesterday is going to show. Both of these squads are playing really aggressive right now. We've seen a few big hits. There's collisions practically every time the puck is passed. Hopefully that scrimmage yesterday doesn't cause any fatigue physically throughout this game, because they need to keep it up. They need to stay physical.
In front, a shot attempt towards Maraska's cage. Getting a piece of it, Colonials will clear past center. Guidos attempt, could not get it out. Romano picks it off, looks to chip around. Guidos holds along the wall. Loses it. Shot coming in, glove stop from the attempt of Zeiss Miller. 6:16 to go, 4-1 Penn State Behrend. As we see aggressive tempers kind of starting to flare a little bit here, with a lot of net front presence, a lot of extra hacking and whacking. For the D4 Colonials, they gotta find their stride.
And what I don't want them to lose is lose that edge. I think they got to stick with that. I think, playing aggressive and playing hard is the way that they will come back in this game. You got to keep the aggression up for sure.
Down the left wall, shot comes in. Morozka stop. He will hold on to that one. Those easy saves, goaltender's best friend.
Absolutely, and when you let up 4 already, you need a few mentally just to get some saves in your own end. Morozka's got to rebound. He's got to keep it clean pretty much for the rest of the game. That goes for the defense as well.
Morozka's lone loss last season was to Penn State Behrend. He finished with a 6-1 record, a .286 goals against average, and a .922 save percentage for the grad students. Behind the net, chance in front, taken away. Sorry, soon to be grad student. Graduates in December. Then he'll be a grad student. A hit attempt from Zach Connolly. Chipping down as a defense for Penn State Behrend. Shot coming on, rebound is loose, rolls behind the net. And now goes around the wall. Morozka to clear. Gets it towards center, poked right back in by the Lions as they'll touch up and regain possession. To the point, they could not handle the pass. Colonials chop at this one.
Ref has his hand in the air, Kate, and we got a delayed penalty on the Lions.
As they will touch up now, as the Colonials power play will get their second attempt of the game. As we'll see who the guilty party is. It looks to be 20. So Brendan Reitz will sit.
Yeah, Reitz has had a phenomenal game so far. A little late on that hit down there. I did catch a glimpse of it as it was coming into the Lions' territory. Little late there, and that's going to cost them. And hopefully Robert Morris, as you said earlier, very good on the power play last year. Hopefully they can get one here on special teams.
Reitz 2 for interference. Antonellis behind the net for the Colonials. Wraps it in front, looks for Bosong. Lions will clear momentarily. It'll be Riffner to settle. Pass intercepted and thrown back in by the Lions. All over it was Neil D'Amico. Still battling way behind that with Kravitz. So throw it forward to Riffner. Killing off 30 seconds of that penalty. Riffner sidesteps in front, shot, and scores. Nate Barr, power play goal. Colonials 2 for 2 early in this one, and the captain strikes to cut the deficit to 2.
Caden, he laid a beautiful one on in the pass in the power play. The last possession, last time out for the power play, sets him up beautifully right in front of the tendy for a one-timer. That is just a thing of beauty and a big response from this Robert Moore squad that they needed desperately. This game, like I mentioned before, a lot of hockey left with 4:44 left to go. It's how you're going to respond, and they have done a great job so far on special teams. Great job from this Colonial squad, and a great face-off win there.
Barr's matching goal totals from last season for the captain out of North Carolina. Riffner and Kravitz will seemingly get the assist. We'll look to confirm, but who it should go to. But 2 for 2 on the power play, picked off by Nick Miles. Miles across for Borsch, caught in his skates, and gets taken down. Attempt comes out, stepping up, Bucci to make the hit. Turned over, Lions at center ice. Tavis Steele to the outside, looks to put it on, it goes wide. Borsch into the corner, has some reinforcements, 2 of them to be exact, and the Colonials will sky this one toward the Lion bench. Backpedaling is Taylor. Going D to D, back once more as Pierce and Taylor continue the catching play. Off the wall. Going across for Taylor, getting a piece of it momentarily, McFarland, as he'll exchange some shoves with Taylor in front of the Lion bench. Down low, Borsch gets dragged down, and a lot of extra pushing there is now Page in there as Miles and Borsch both pinned along the wall. We might get a couple coming up here because there's a lot of hacking and whacking down low. Out comes Gusky. Down goes another Colonial. Seemingly one on RMU. I'm not sure if we'll get much more.
I don't know, but great song choice here from the guys in the booth. Why can't we be friends? Listen, a lot of aggression down on the other end, and Are we going to see 2? We are not.
Yeah, just Page, it looks like, to the box for RMU. As for, I believe that was signaled as boarding. So the Colonial penalty kill gets their first look of the game.
Caden, I don't think he would have gotten that penalty if he hit him a little lower. I think around that neck area is a big no-no in hockey, and that's exactly what he did. And they're going to pay the price for that now.
Top PK unit out here. Alphic on the lines. Roughing, excuse me, not boarding. I think it's one half dozen the other, what you want to call there. To the point. Guidos sending it across. Shot coming in. Mrazka flashes the weather on D'Amico. 18 seconds gone on the Page penalty. There'll be a face-off to the left side of Mrazka on the right dot. Tied up draw to the point. Heavy pressure there from Julian Drass. Into the corner, Antonellis looks to tie up. Out to come the lines, trying to go behind the net. Off to the half wall, to the point. Shot coming in with a lot of deflections in front. That one rolls wide. To the point once more, broken up. Connolly will send it out. And the lines retreat. Clip. Antonellis sauced that one to Drass as he gets lights up again. As Drass has been on the receiving end of 2 really big hits from the Lions.
Yeah, and it's tough to see because those hits do add up, and eventually one of them is going to get him really good, and he needs to be on the ice.
Lost at the line, eventually cleared out. Beautifully done by the Colonial penalty killers with about 40 more seconds to kill. We'll get fresh bodies on the ice, everyone but Riffner. Now he will head off for a new body. Jacob Hanna has a goal of his own in this hockey, and it's 4-2, Penn State Behrend. Sends this one down low. Looking for Reitz. Zach Connolly getting a piece of him. Along the wall, Kravitz steps up to make the hit. Shot coming in over the head of Mrazka, and this will roll all the way down. Taylor looking to cross. Getting a stick in was Bryce Mrazka. 5 seconds to go on the penalty. Lions attempt to stutter step in, does not go. Set free is Page. Shot coming in, save Mrazka. Kill for the Colonials.
Great kill there from the Colonials. I love how they played high. Did not let anything entry down low in front of the net. Great job there from the Colonials.
1 minute remaining in the first period of play. Kravitz got his stick locked up. Shot coming in high over Mrazka. Rebound off the wall. Mrazka over it. A lot of traffic in front. Eventually clears to the corner. Pinning it momentarily is Chris Connolly. And Riffner lighting up with a hit. Mrazka. Bucci looks to send around the wall. Stops along. Connolly shoves it forward. Foot race. Lions first to it. To the point, Zach Connolly gets it in for RMU. Looks to put it on, blocked away. As they'll send this the length of the ice. Antonellis to grab for RMU. 11 seconds to go. Lions look to just eat as much as they can here. Bosong momentarily turned over to Chris Connolly. Connolly's shot shoveled wide of the net. Kravitz with 1 second will just lightly put it towards the net. And at the end of one, the Penn State Behrend Lions hold a 4-2 lead. What seemed like night and day from the first 10 minutes to the second 10 minutes of the Sox game.
Absolutely, Caden. The aggression was really cranked up from both sides, but I think Robert Morris did a much better job responding to that aggression for that second half of that first period. They got to keep it up. They have to continue with that pressure. They're going to have to play a little higher than they're used to just because they're down 2. But I've said it a few times already. There's a ton of hockey left, and the question is, how can Robert Morris respond? And I think they'll do so by playing a little bit higher.
Brendan Reitz with a natural hat trick for the Lions to get things going. A power play goal from Carter Bosong for the Colonials, followed up by a Jacob Hanna goal to make it 4-1, and then a power play goal from Nate Barr to make it 4-2. We'll have 12 minutes-ish of intermission time, our lone intermission of the game. We will return with the second period of the Lions and Colonials right after this. Period number 2 is about to get going from the Olympic Ice Arena. I'm Caden McCrory, alongside me Billy DePue. Penn State Behrend with a very good first half showing in that first period. RMU battles back to get 2, but it's seemingly mainly Penn State Bears been controlling much of the aggression and, of course, the goal scoring.
Yeah, and that's been the tale of the tape so far. Not necessarily the entire game. As you mentioned, Robert Morris did come out very strong in about that second half part of the first period. I think the turning point was that second goal that they scored on the power play. Listen, if they get another opportunity again in special teams, which I wouldn't be surprised, they got to score again. And I think they will. You mentioned it. As far as club hockey goes, this is one of the best out of the group with Robert Morris. And aggression just has to be there, and I think that they can get it done.
As you see a couple of hits, Kravitz and Barr get going early with the physicality. The Penn State Behrend in the Division II level of club hockey, while Robert Morris in the Division IV level of club hockey. So RMU playing up a couple of levels, but not much they're not used to. As Barr with a check there, Colonials look to clear. Stretch pass for Barr does not go. Penn State Behrend will pick it up 1-1 in the series last year. They'll have 2 contests this year, this one, of course, being number 1. Home and home as they'll go to Penn State Behrend later on. Here comes Reitz coming in. Reitz shot Morozka. Stop, rebound, and goes in. Reitz is 4th of the game, and the Lions take a 3-goal lead.
This dude is unbelievable, Caden. Puts on a move, puts on a shot on net. Good first initial stop there from Morozka, and was able to rebound the second one there. That's been pretty much the tale of all these goals. Just been rather misfortune. Rebound goals, crashing the net. That's something that Penn State has done a really good job doing, is rebounding. And they're going to keep on doing it. And the defense has to play their part too. It starts with those guys up front. If we let him go one-on-one, can't guarantee that he's going to be able to stop that puck every time.
Off the draw, Zeiss Miller looking to go to Conley. He'll wrestle into the corner. Stopped along the wall momentarily by Romano. Defense shipping down, and the Lions will take it to center. Shot coming in, Morozka glove stop, and a little bit of a spray in front. Some taps, and whistle dead.
Good possession there from Penn State. Better glove there by Morozka. They have to get him help back here. A lot of open opportunities. That's something Penn State does really well, is crowd. Both sides, they crowd the net really well.
Zeiss Miller looks to go into the left corner. Has Conley in reinforcement. Looking to put in front. Coming in is Page to knock it in. Behind the net for Esplin. And now this will roll all the way down. Stopped by Morozka. Page goes across for Zeiss Miller as he is stood up along the blue line. Romano puts this one down low. Lions looking to carry out. They'll get along the Colonial bench and they'll storm in with a couple bodies taken back with the check there. So the blue line kept alive by Esplin. He'll send this one around the horn. Bucci stepping up, makes the hit as those two will joust. Shot on net by Morozka will be stopped at 17:44 as Bucci will continue to bark away.
Caden, you could tell that Robert Morris has made some adjustments on the offensive end and kind of on the defense as well, playing a little bit higher than usual. They're going to probably have to keep that up. They're going to have to take the risk of the defenders playing a little bit closer. There's a shot on net.
Zach Connolly gets rough towels as Julian Girass involved in another check as well as some poking going on for the Colonials. Klim sends this into the far wall. Girass stepping up, gets checked away. Here come the Lions one-on-one against Wolf. stepping around, looking to go through again, as combining an extra after the whistle whack will end up in a RMU power play, as Jacob Milton will sit as he takes down Connolly after the whistle.
Yeah, very legal, and
as actually we have seen someone been ejected, I think.
Yeah, I think that's going to be number 17, Jacob Milton.
It looked like someone was getting ejected. You saw someone point, or the referee there, point towards the runways. But no one seems to be headed there.
And you know, Caden, the story in hockey is they'll always take the second guy. You know, not saying that the hit wasn't clean down here on the Lions, but that retaliation down after the whistle is going to get you every time, and the refs are going to call it every time. But this is another opportunity for Robert Morris. They have to respond here on special teams.
So no ejection. Seemed like it was just a warning maybe. But Milton for cross-checking to the back of Zach Connolly. Colonials are 2-2 on today's power play attempts. Carter Bosong and Nate Barr, the goal scorers. Here comes Riffner. Wrapping in, fires one on, upstairs, ends up going underneath the netting, and out of play with a $1:34 to go on the penalty.
That's good skating there from the A and Ryan Riffner. Way to break around the corner. The shot's got to get on target, though. I believe it did hit the goalie, did it not? And then it went up in play.
Maybe. It's really hard to tell from a far angle.
But nonetheless, that skating and that shot created a face-off opportunity for RMU, which they lost, but they did end up getting back, and they'll look to score here in their own, other end.
Kravitz, the Bosong on the far side. Looks to go back to Riffner, eventually gets to it after a Penn State Behrend check. Reitz sends this one the length of the ice. Maraska will come out and hold. He'll sky this one all the way down, beautifully executed, and Colonial's right back in the zone. Kravitz's shot from downtown ricochets off the wall. Riffner will pick it up at center ice. Banks it to the captain Barr. 1 minute gone on the penalty. They will retreat back once more. Riffner looks to chip forward, blocked away. Stutter step, shot, glove save, Maraska. Robbing Jacob Hanna one-on-one.
Yeah, that's some good skating there from the Lions opposition, but what a glove there from Brock Maraska. Way to get your glove on that. However, that did eat some time away for this power play. About 44 seconds left here to go.
Tied up Chris Conley. Into the corner, Zach Page attempts to check, does not go. Clearing attempt, sent right back in by the Lions. It'll be Bucci on the pickup. Blows a tire, gets it up now, picked off it again. And here come the Lions shot, ricocheted wide. Here's Page. Sends this one down, kept alive by Hanna at the blue line. Conley's attempt doesn't go and sent right back in. 15 seconds to go on the penalty. Here's Bucci. One final attempt, chips it off the wall to Zeiss Miller, forward for Conley. Conley looks to go to Romano, doesn't go, and cleared out by the Lions, and their first kill of the game.
It's a very important and good kill there from the Penn State Lions. No icing there. Robert Morris has got to get it going outside of special teams. We got some extracurriculars down here. As
Romano had a couple of shoves as he was parked in the blue paint, Zeiss Miller will join him, as will 4 Lions. As quickly separated with 15:06 to go. No one will take a seat in the box as they'll let them play on through.
Caden, a little interesting side note here. Start of the second period, we were, doing our thing, play-by-play. A Penn State player actually walked behind us in seemingly half gear.
Yes.
And now he's back out there. That was forward Logan Keller, who has yet to score on the year so far, looking for his first goal of the year.
Was interesting where we're parked is a pathway that the players can take to get back to the bench. As shot in front, stopped there by the netminder Gusky. But when he came out, Billy, it was really surprising. You see a player with his jersey off, just his shoulder pads kind of just dangling, and him running saying, "Let me in." I was like, what is going on behind us? But back to the bench, and we'll get back on the ice momentarily. DiDomenico bodied away behind the net. The Colonials look to go in front to the point to Zach Conley. Connolly steps away from one, looks to go to DiDomenico, does not succeed, and here come the Lions the other way. Getting back with some steam is Bohr. Shot on net. Morozka holds and gets the whistle with 14:38.
Yeah, interesting shot angle there from the Lions, but the glove of Morozka has been there tonight. He's done a very good job with that glove, but as we mentioned before, Lions have prevailed off rebound goals and tap-ins, and that's been the story of the night so far.
Sent by Antonellis towards center as they'll exchange bodies. Riffner, who is also mic'd up today, as Alyssa Deal, one of the members of our crew, is handling that responsibility, so that'll be something that comes out at a later date, but assistant captain Riffner, the first of many on his team to wear a live microphone. It'll be interesting to see what he has to say throughout a game.
Sure, it's all not. I'm sure the whole game isn't going to make a good hit here in front of us. Sure, that whole game audio isn't going to be displayed. But it is interesting to see behind the scenes sometimes while games are going on what goes through a player's head.
Riffner, some vocal as well. Usually not anything derogatory for the most part, but hockey players can be hockey players. That's as simple as that. Sent in by the Lions. Riffner will be the one to it. Stretch pass along the wall. Successful. And ending on the stick of Carter Bosong. Looks to clear it down low. Past the line stick. Colonials will change. In between periods 2 and 3, no ice cut. So both teams and ourselves will only have about 2 minutes-ish to regroup for period 3 with no ice resurfacing, which can play a factor.
And that is 100% a factor, not only for the ice, but, I mean, you watch another player go down again. Just from a physical standpoint, you know, both of these teams are really giving it to each other. And that no intermission might play a role.
Lions around Page. He'll step up and make the hit. Down goes a Colonial, though, as Bucci gets dragged to the ice. And they'll meet along the walls. Physicality ramping up. Zeiss Miller looks across for Romano. Can't connect as they'll joust away and fight for the puck. Page gets stood up there as he'll hack and whack. Turned over to Bucci at the blue line.
Some derogatory chirping from the Penn State fans over to our left.
Hopefully, we like to keep it clean on air, so hopefully it doesn't make its way over the airways. Page will chip it forward. Romano, stutter step, looks to put on as he gets taken down. Connolly at the blue line couldn't keep that one alive. The senior will sky this one in, and this will be an icing that is called off. And that one will be perfectly placed off one of the walls to our left and not bounce its way back in, but a fan will be generous enough to help the puck find its way home. There we go.
Yeah, Caden, go back to there not being a longer intermission, so to speak, between the second and third. That is definitely going to play a factor, especially for a few players who are on the other end of the hit, the receiving part of the hit on both sides. So it's important to see how some of these lines change a little bit differently throughout this game.
The grinder line, as they like to call them on the ice now. Bryce Morozka has been very physical in this game, as has his line mate Mitch Klim. Julian Duras has been on the receiving end of a couple huge hits for Penn State Behrend. Duras goes to Morozka, to the point for Wolf. The senior looks to put it on, deflected, rolls to the side, attempt for Duras. Net comes off and whistled dead. It'll stay inside the line zone.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's a tough break for Penn State. You know, they were just about to get the puck out of their own end, and then the goalie happened to move his net a little bit, and now we're going to get a face-off down here that Robert Morris has to win. You have to win every possession from here on out, especially when you're down 3.
Top unit comes on for Coach Bosong, the first-year head coach. As looks the net is ready to go, as is the goaltender Gusky. Face-off won by the Lions. They will sky this one all the way down. No icing, perfectly placed. Riffner looks to skate up. Has Kravitz. He gets clipped in the process. Antonellis will step up and make the hit. Riffner stepping up, gets a skate, Barr gets a skate of it. Turned over once more as those two get taken down. Chipping around Riffner, he'll battle with Hanna. Behind the net, has some help from Barr. Will bounce his way as he'll get this one forward to Kravitz.
Got a delayed penalty again on the Lions.
So Mrazka will make his way to the bench, as will be a 6-on-5 momentarily, as that one will now be a 5-on-4. Colonial's fourth power play of the game. They're batting 66%. That is Hall of Fame numbers if you're in baseball. And the only two responsible goals for RMU as taking a seat will be Logan Keller, the aforementioned player who departed momentarily and made his way back.
Gonna have to get a call from our booth here. I'm not sure what they called, Caden, or what was the call, but that doesn't matter if you're a Colonial or a Colonial fan. What does matter is what you're going to do for the next 2 minutes with that man advantage. Possession and good shots have to be the key factor. Do not let that puck go in your own end.
Second unit will start out as the first unit was on the ice when the penalty occurred. So they'll get themselves a quick breather. It'll be Chris Conley, Owen Romano, Zach Page, Elijah Zeiss Miller, and Dominic Bucci. Off the draw, down goes the Lion. They'll clear this one the length of the ice as Mrazka will stop momentarily. There'll be a slashing call on Keller as Zach Page will set up for RMU. Looks to send it the whole way down. Lions right there waiting for it, and will chip this one right back in. Bucci skates this one himself. Past the blue line, now center, with a line draped all over him. Loses it to one of the defenders as he'll park at the farthest point you possibly can and send it down. Mrazka, a very active netminder, will send it forward. Looking for Romano along the Colonial bench. Lions clear. Page quickly back up. Lions once again all over it. To the outside with a head of steam. The shot coming in. Mrazka makes the stop on Hanna once again. With 1:02 to go, and the first unit will make their way onto the ice.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, the Colonials have to keep possession in this man advantage. They're not doing a really good job of that, but they still got a minute 2 left. The faceoff is so crucial here, not only for the possession part of it, but you don't want to give Penn State a shorthanded goal here. That would be very detrimental.
Barr chopping away off the faceoff win for the Lions. And now behind the net, Riffner will be the one to set up. Avoids the streaking in player. Chipped forward for Nate Barr as he'll get dragged down by Lunger and will send this the length of the ice. 37 seconds of penalty time remain. Riffner looks for a lane, has it along the wall to Barr. Through the middle. To Bosong. Bosong shot. Stopped by Gusky. Will cover up. 22 ticks remain on the penalty.
Caden, I think Carter Bosong rushed that shot a little bit. I think he had a lot more room than he anticipated. I think he could have crashed the crease a little bit more with the puck there. I liked how he went wide, but when you give yourself a little less room between you and the keeper, you exploit a lot more. A little more patience from the Colonials. Don't rush any shots.
Riffner took it off momentarily. Offside's called. Now takes it down to 14. You want to be aggressive in these situations, Bill, but Colonials just seem like they're losing the sense of just a quick, easy plays right now.
Yeah, quick and easy, and you have to take the shots that you're getting, but also patience as well.
Down by 3. Seemingly the second straight kill here for the Lions, as that one will come to fruition with that dump, and we'll go back to 5-on-5. Antonellis wraps it along the wall. Chipped forward for Nate Barr from Bosong. Lost at center, Riffner to pick it up. Riffner to the outside. Makes one miss, dangles to his forehand, puts one on, and he scores. Ryan Riffner, how do you do? Makes one miss and gets the Colonials on the board right after the power play expires.
Yeah, you noted it earlier, Caden. Ryan Riffner, the leading goal scorer of the season last year, and you can see why as he starts off early in the year really good. Amazing puck control, as if it was on a string, and was able to put it in one-on-one with the keeper.
Not many are better than 2-4 with a puck on his stick.
And it's just so impressive to watch because he's not a small dude.
No.
That is a big guy out there moving like a guy who's about 3 or 4 inches shorter than he is. He moves very well with the puck. And that is something that Robert Morris just needs to do better in general. And he is showing why he was this leading goal scorer for this squad last year, and he has cut the Lions' lead to just 2. This game is not over yet.
Miles pushes it to center and sent back in. No assist on the Riffner goal. Zach Conley pushing it forward, looking for the stick of DiDomenico. Past him, chase ensues. Taking a whack is Miles to the back of a Lions player, drawing some attention. Clearing attempt, stepping up Conley, keeps it alive for RMU. Lions get it right back along the boards. They'll sky this one. Zach Conley diving, keeps it alive. DiDomenico shot, Pat Stavguski.
What a play by Conley to keep that in down there. Just throwing himself around. He's done that on the puck and off the puck as well. Very good job there from Conley.
Braden Wolf.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. Look to go off the top of the boards. Ends up going off a wall. Luckily, no one standing up there to be hit by that ricocheted puck. And that's the one thing, Bill, we talked about when we first started having games on this rink. Those boards are a lot shorter than the ones we have next door. A lot shorter.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I was kind of bummed out with our view at times, you know, because sometimes we don't see everything. I'm telling you, if we were set up there right now, you guys at home watching this might not have had a camera for the rest of the game because that puck went flying.
We don't want to take up any seats. That's why we're in the corner. Shot coming in, Mrazka stop, Wolf to corral it.
I'll tell you what, though, we got some really good shots here up against the glass on some hits that I don't think a lot of other angles are to offer.
That's true. Upstairs in the other rink, we're so zoomed out that you're not going to see something that close up. It's the give and take. We have better close-ups here, but worse wide shots. The other one, we have way better wide shots. None really good on the close-ups. I prefer the other rink every day of the week. I'll say that right now. This rink is not very camera-friendly.
Not camera-friendly, but a lot of history here in the Olympic Arena here at the island. All those Olympic, whatever those things are
Olympic
over there.
Banners.
Olympic banners.
Shot from Duras goes high and wide. You can probably see with the corners of the right side of your screen, sometimes the left, if it gets over there. Shot from the point will roll to Dom Bucci. Duras turning and shooting. Gusky pushes that one aside. Looking in front for Klim as this one rolls behind the net. Lions clearing attempt. Bucci steps up, now retreats back and will hold it at center ice. Quickly thrown in, a couple jousts each way as the Lions storm in. Bucci gets a piece of it. That'll go into the netting out of play as Page gets hit after the whistle, and Bucci gets thrown down by Taylor as a couple of number 11s will joust with the referee in the way. Didn't see much of what happened there, but it seems like as the whistle blew, Page went down to the ice.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't really see an angle there, and someone is going to head to the box. That is number 11, Sean Taylor, who has been quite the aggressor throughout the night tonight. And I said it earlier, hockey's a sport. They're always going to take the second guy.
They're taking Bucci as well here.
They are. I did not. They are taking Bucci as well, yes.
So both 11s, I think the right call there. Take
Absolutely.
Both. Honestly, I think if Bucci doesn't retaliate, I think it's a power play RMU. I think that penalty was going to be called regardless. But we will now either have coincidentals or it will be a 4-on-4. as we'll discuss that over with the captains from each side. But this should stay in front of Maraska on our close end, regardless of the call. As it looks like the penalty is not on the board. So they'll be to the left of Maraska, right of the screen. So 4 minutes on the board for... So 4 minutes to Taylor, 2 minutes to Bucci, I think is how I'm reading that?
I
or
think
is it the other way around?
No, you're reading it correctly, Caden. So RMU, the Colonials will get we're going to play 4-on-4 hockey here for a little bit, for about 2 minutes, and then the Colonials will be on a man advantage for the concurring 2 minutes that follow.
I think we might have it backwards. So we'll wait to... Yes, so it's going to be a power play for Penn State.
Okay. Bucci got a roughing and then an unsportsmanlike conduct as well, so that's why it's going to be 4. So to flip it around, Penn State, nice flip up there, no good.
Yeah, and Ross with the stop. So what we're seeing there is Bucci was the quote-unquote instigator, and that was the original first call, then roughing both ways.
So if they're not going to get the second guy, then they're going to get the third guy.
Yes, so it'll be the third guy in this case. So RMU will head to a official penalty kill in 1:29 when Taylor is set free. Riffner to Antonellis. A lot of room to work with for both teams on a 4-on-4. Zeiss Miller puts one on Pat Stopguski. They'll roll to the point to Antonellis. Walks the line, puts one on with traffic. Rebound is loose. Down goes Connolly. Second attempt for Zeiss Miller. And the Lions all over it. They'll slow up into the zone with a minute to go on the 4-on-4. Riffner takes his man to the wall. Antonellis to dig it out. Now another line comes in to join. Lions doing exactly what they want, to kill as much clock as they can.
Absolutely. Hold it off until you get to your power play with a man advantage.
Chipped away by Riffner. Foot race against Hannah. Riffner the first to it. He'll take this behind the net. In front, Connolly. Shot. Saved by Gusky. And this will be cleared to center ice.
Caden, I believe the defender for the Lions, that is number 8, I believe.
Yeah, Hannah.
Jacob Hannah took that shot. I don't even know if it got to the keeper there. That was a great block there. Shot wide, and there it is.
Elijah Zeiss Miller. Take a hit to make a play, Chris Connolly. And on the 4-on-4, Zeiss Miller strikes gold. It's a 1-goal game.
And Caden Conley has been taking hits all night. And honestly, he's done a very good job throwing himself around. He's done a very good job at that. And look at that. It led to a goal for the Colonials. And it's only a 1-goal game. But you also have to factor in that they have to go on the kill here in 11 seconds.
Zeiss Miller, a beautiful shot. And Gusky could not get down to that one along the far post. A 1-goal game. Colonials have not been down in a game in quite some time. So for them to rally, to even just get a couple on the board in period 2 is nothing short of a remarkable feat for them.
And it's not easy being at the top. There's high expectations, and I think this Colonial squad holds themselves to a really high standard, and I think that's why you're going to see them really ramp it up here for the next 4 minutes and then the 20 that follow to start the third.
Around the net looking to the point. Shot coming in, deflected wide. Conley will get the primary assist on the goal. Down with a stick. No call there is Page, and then gets clipped. That one will be called a not clean check to the head of Zach Page. As
oh, boy.
Really laboring. That was a very non-satisfyingly hit, to say the least, as that was towards the head of Page. Not clean at all.
No, not clean at all, and it's unfortunate for Penn State because, honestly, you can make a very clear argument that they should have another 2 minutes on the power play.
They're getting an extra unsportsmanlike here.
Wow.
I think. And I also think a timeout. So they're taking Lunger to the box. As they're still, referees have been very vocal with that Penn State bench the whole game. As that coach is not letting up anything really easily here. So there is a timeout called. Not sure if they'll get the extra. Oh, I don't know if only went 2 there.
Yeah, they only went 2. And, you know, it's one of those things where maybe the referees think to themselves, I might have missed one there. I mean, you can't miss that call right in front of us. That was 100% a penalty, not clean at all. But you'd have to imagine that maybe didn't tack on that other 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike, just maybe for the fact that they might have missed that call down here.
As of right now, that penalty was once again a warning and not called. So I just think it's all them just trying to be like, hey, shut your mouth. We're going to call it. But do I think Page tripped up a guy 100% for that? 100% yes.
Absolutely.
100% yes. What should have been called? 100% yes. Does it call for you to take a shot at someone's head? Absolutely not.
No.
It'll be 4-on-4 once again. The Colonials will have 13 seconds of power play time at expiry. Page seems to be okay. Thankfully, of course. Already shaken up as a D4 team a little bit.
They play the trying to find some blood rule here at this level?
I don't think that's in play. But
I'm not.
I haven't seen a high stick 4 where blood. I don't think I've seen
all
one.
These guys are in full cages to my understanding. So I would have to imagine it'd be really hard to get anywhere up under there.
Morozka's shot stuck away there by the netminder. Wraparound attempt looked up high to Antonellis. His shot blocked away beautifully by Reitz as those two will wrestle. Referee in arms, as are the fans. Sorry if we heard any derogatory words to the side of us. As now Morozka dragged down. The RMU bench none too pleased. Seemed like both sides not particularly happy with the calls on the ice.
And, you know, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. You know, you might feel as if a game was miscalled in your way in any sport. But you just have to continue to play on. Great save there.
Morozka holds. Get the whistle here. 36 more seconds of that 4-on-4 until Bucci will be set free first for the Colonials for a very, very short power play. Page back on the ice. That is the most important thing to see if you're a Colonial fan. And you could hear the crowd actually exclaim to see him back on the ice.
Yeah, and he is physically and quite literally a big piece to this defensive line, especially on special teams. I'm glad that he's okay and back out there.
This will be chopped at, and Penn State will retreat back into their own zone. Klim, Miles, Page, and Connolly, the respective units on for RMU. Lions coming in, shot, Morozka holds, gets the stop. Conley challenges just to make sure nothing else happens there. We're down to 13 more seconds of a 4-on-4.
Caden, I just realized this type of hockey is right up our alley. You know, we spend a good part of our summer heading to Cranberry to go ahead and call some GOAT 4v4 hockey with some NHL, AHL, college hockey affiliates. It's really fun to watch. I love 4v4 hockey. It really spreads out the ice. You get to see guys move a little bit better and a little bit quicker.
More room is something all players love to have. And you have a big bench, you can make it work very well. The guys at the GOAT 4v4 league, there's about 10 of them. That's a lot harder to make it work.
And you can see, because their numbers are so low from an effort standpoint, it's almost like they're preseason, so to speak.
Yes.
It's their tune-up as well. But getting to see guys play 4v4 hockey at a high pace and a high level is very cool to watch.
Penalty to Bucci expires, as now the 1 to Lunger. We are back to 5-on-5. Kravitz back to make sure there is no breakaway attempts for his goaltender. A minute 30 to go in period 2. 5-4 Penn State Behrend in this very close affair between a Division II team and a Division IV team. Page at the blue line. Chops to Kravitz. Kravitz to his backhand. Turning. Trying to shake around one. There's a player to drape all over him. Colonials will touch up.
And they're going to get him.
Yep. As penalty called, as Colonials will head to the box believe it'll be Page. It will be. As for the remainder, knock on wood if you're a Colonial fan, of the second period, will be a power play for Penn State. It'll be the young freshman Morozka with Nick Miles, and then Ty Antonellis with Ryan Riffner. This is some possible mic-up footage you could have here. Riffner and the referee talking. Wonder what he has to say. Miles.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that referee looks awfully familiar. I feel like he was at some of our 4-on-4 hockey events as well.
Very well might have been.
So this guy is definitely reffing in the area.
If not here, we've seen him somewhere. He definitely does look very familiar. Morozka sends it in under a minute to go, as the PA announcer Phil Baczynski reminds us. Stutter step move all over on this Bryce Morozka. For our freshman, he's been heavily involved in this hockey game. Here come the lines now. They'll enter from the right side. Pulling back now is Esplin. Miles breaks it up momentarily. Pass down low. In front, bounces free. Lions at the blue line keep it alive. Blocked by Morozka. Riffner chops around the wall. This will make its way the entirety of the ice.
What a clear there by Riffner. Absolutely put that on a rope to make sure they couldn't get it off the boards there. And that will likely expire, or excuse me, the period will end right here.
51 seconds of a penalty kill for the Colonials. It's a one-score game here at the Olympic Ice Arena. Penn State leads 5-4. We'll be right back with period 3 in just 2 minutes' time. We'll be right back. Well, we had a lot go on in that 2 minutes there, Billy.
Yeah, I wish we had the cameras rolling. I'm not sure if it's because they're a Division II team or whatnot. The schedule's thrown off a little bit, but I think Penn State was a little bit surprised that we didn't have a longer intermission. And I was just about to go on and say how this shorter intermission was going to work against Robert Morris, because now you got to come right back on the ice with a Penn State team with momentum that now has 51 seconds of extra man opportunity. But honestly, you said it before we went back on the air, they seem a little rattled to start this period.
They were vocal. They were talking to the Phil Baczynski in the PA box, the referees. He was not very happy with the Penn State bench. And you saw RMU. They were hyped up. They knew what was coming. They know we have a minute to get ready and we're back to it. Penn State did not. They were half off the ice and they were told to come back on. So 45 more seconds of a power play. 1-goal game with the Penn State Behrend Lions on top of the Colonials, 5-4. I'm Caden McCrory, alongside me, Billy DePue. We've had a very fun affair here between these two hockey clubs, as a third period filled with a lot more physicality and goal scoring seemingly ahead.
Yeah, and that physicality will not come to a halt. If anything, it's going to get ramped up a little bit more with a little over 19 left here to go. And I think a lot of it is going to come from Robert Morris. You know, you're down. You got to get a spark. You got to get something. And they're not just looking to tie up this game. I don't know any team that wants to just tie up a game and then get contempt with it, you know. They're going to go out, they're going to play physical, and they're going to look to tally up 2 more unanswered, at least.
Colonials will chop at this one. This will make its way all the way down. 10 more seconds until Page is set free from the box. Barr with a heavy pressure.
Very good pressure there from Barr.
As set free as Page, as the Colonial penalty kill continues to impress. Penn State working in, shot attempt, rolls into the wall. Riffner getting a piece of it for RMU. As they'll whack at this one, does Bucci. Takes his man into the corner and looks to clear. But goes to the stick of Hanna. His shot blocked away by, I believe, his own teammate. Colonials look to stride. Sent in. On net, Gusky will hold as Riffner will be met by a couple Lions, and they'll continue to joust away. Here comes a couple of Colonials to his defense. We said rattled. Wasn't really much there in front. You see the Lions, they're tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I said it's at the beginning of the game. Even the national anthem, it's the little things.
Yeah.
When guys are on a schedule and that schedule's altered, some guys don't respond to that very well. And I don't think anyone from this Penn State squad is happy with the fact that they are not on schedule.
Interesting here as
Very
it goes from inside to outside on the opposite side.
Does that have something to do with where the puck came from, Caden?
I think it was because Riffner, a defenseman, was involved in a scrum in front of the net that it has to come outside.
Huh.
Is my hockey sense, possibly. That's at least how it is in professional. So that's my safe bet here. Turned over. Barr. Backhand in front, looking. Loose. Kravitz chops, as does Barr. An extra whack as Taylor again getting in the mix of it. As Barr a little shaken up to the hand as the captain wants a call on the Lions.
Yeah, Caden, there was an opportunity in front of the net. Just could not corral it too close to the keeper, and they're going to get another opportunity with a face-off down here in the Nittany Lions end. Excuse me, the Lions end.
Shot goes towards Bosong, turning, puts it on, stuck wide. Kravitz behind the net to get it for the Colonials. For Barr, loose, as Gusky gets down to the side of his post to cover that one, as we see Kravitz mixing it up again with Taylor. As Barr still looking for something to give here from the officiating crew.
Yeah, Taylor's been a true aggressor for this Penn State squad throughout the entire night. Really been a little bit chippy. He had that big hit down here at the start of the first period, or maybe midway through the first period. Very nice hit.
To the point, Page keeps it on, does not, as this will go outside.
Yeah, just fanned on it there a little bit. Caden could not keep it to himself, and that's ultimately why they called the offsides.
Line change for the Colonials. Got some fresh troops on offensively. It'll be the Conley unit that struck late in period 2. Zeiss Miller getting the goal. And here comes the Lions. To the outside, Bucci gets his stick in there. Put towards the back of the net. And will roll its way out. Chopping away. Here come the Colonials. Looking for the stick of Romano. No icing. Now it is icing. It was originally waved off.
A little late there.
Was waved off and then was not waved off. So they'll originally go with call number 2 on that one. Interesting note, 3 players for the Colonials came into this game with point streaks. Chris Conley and Ryan Riffner have extended theirs. Julian Draft's the lone other one looking to continue his.
And Caden, I think it's reasonable to expect a guy like Ryan Riffner will be on a point streak for a long time through this season.
In the skates, it'll roll all the way behind Morozka's net for Zach Connolly, the brother of Chris. Past his skate, chipping down Zeiss Miller. Shot attempt, Morozka stop, rebound is loose, and taken away by Chris Conley. Zach Conley now chips for Zeiss Miller ahead of his stick, and he'll finish his check along the penalty box doors. Jousting just beyond the Colonial bench. Rolls Colonial way as they'll get hit. There's Romano. Penalty coming up.
Penalty.
Getting up high on Romano will lead to a Colonial power play. Past the stick of Zeiss Miller as they'll meet, and they will meet right in front of our camera. But penalty to the Lions as we see some more jousting. It's been a lot of extra to whistle from both sides here.
Well, Caden, Robert Morris gets another opportunity here at what you say they do best, which is special teams. And they're going to get a power play opportunity here, and they need to get it. You know, they've been handed another opportunity with a high hit there, and they get another 2 minutes to respond on a special teams goal.
Barr, Kravitz, Bosang, Riffner, and Antonellis, the 5 men to look to tie this game. Barr caught in his stick to Bosang, looking for room, rolls up high to Riffner. Riffner fakes, a cross shot, Gusky stopped. A good give and go to Antonellis. Gusky on the doorstep to make the stop there. Beautifully executed.
Very well done by Riley Gusky to get to his point over on the right side. That was a good give there. Good give there by Ryan Riffner for the one-timer. Good to pass it up because, as I mentioned earlier, Penn State really loves to crowd the net. So the opportunity to get an open wrister from the top of the key is simply limited.
Hanna, their number 1 penalty killer for the Lions, all over that one. He'll take it in to the Colonial zone. Quickly thrown back in. Hanna still on the chase. Looks to go up high. Has a man waiting. Crowd by 3 Colonials. He'll just chip it in himself. Takes down Riffner. Does Reitz. Here comes RMU. Riffner to his backhand. He'll circle behind the net. Gets hit along the numbers as all over Mosquitoes. Up high, Antonellis. Shoveled wide to Kravitz. Puts it on, deflected underneath the stick. Bosang over it. As now Barr jousting with Guidos. Covered up.
Yeah, there's something extracurricular after every whistle, Caden. I know it's something that may seem frowned upon, but I honestly, I think it's really good for the sport. I think it's good for both sides. Both sides have to play aggressive. This is a really tight game, and it's natural to expect that both of these teams are going to get a little bit of chippy here with 15:36 to go.
Well, just keep it clean for the most part. Chippiness is part of the game.
There is a defined line between chippiness and dirtiness.
Yes. Zach Conley bodied off by number 4 in Lunger. All the way down the Colonial zone. As Lunger beautifully just eating as much clock as he can as we hit 30 seconds to go on the penalty. As penalty coming up, as they say, Conley got to the back of Lunger. As we will head to 4-on-4 hockey for 30 seconds.
Seen a lot of 4-on-4 hockey tonight, Caden. Both teams just simply can't stay out of the box. And honestly, if the refs were going to blow their whistle every time and put their hand up, I think we'd see a lot more penalties than we've seen thus far.
It would be 3-on-3 for about 7 minutes, I'd say. So the icings are back in play for both teams. Here is Bryce Moroska. Out wide to Klim. Shoveled into the stands. As a part-time souvenir will have to be given back if they can find it. But 19 more seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. Looks like they can't find that puck. Face-off won by RMU. They'll chip at this one. Rios backpedaling. Thrown right back in as Lunger gets stood up by Moroska. 5 seconds remaining on the penalty. As out of the box come the Lions. They'll have a power play for $1:30. Moroska puts it on. Easy blocker down by Gusky. Stepping up are the Colonials. Bucci applying pressure. As they'll look to send this one down, as Moroska and Lunger both take a trip in the Penn State bench. Clem holds it to himself, has some defensive help behind him. They'll go to Moroska, let it go through him, and all the way down. A minute to go on the penalty to Conley. Guidos to the outside, draw pass. Shovel down low, behind the net, taken down. As we see a bunch of whistles and an extra shove to the head of a Colonial, and penalty will be called there. A little bit of a sell job, I believe, by the Colonials there, unless the stick got underneath the mask of Page. But regardless, we'll get the call.
A lot of trips to the sin bin tonight, and they continue, Caden.
It'll be Guidos. So, Billy, tell me if you heard this story before. 4-on-4. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Power play. That's 2 Lions in the box.
Wow.
So it'll be a 4-on-3. Or should be 4-on-3, right? Usually gets confusing when we got multiple guys in the box. Lions got 4 on the ice.
But they have 2 in the box.
So power play RMU.
Should be 4-on-3 hockey
Yes,
here, no?
4-on-3.
They still have 4 on the ice.
Should be 3 as they'll look to. Our clock is good to go. There's some miscommunication there as they're very late changes as the referee was all over it. They are supposed to be the first change, so that's why the referee tells them no. Power play RMU. It'll be a 4-on-3 followed by a 5-on-3. A huge opportunity here, Billy. For the Colonials.
This is the time to do it, Caden. There's no better time when you're at man advantage, let alone 2-man advantage. They have to get something done here in this next 4 minutes or so.
Riffner to the point. Plays catch with Zeiss Miller. Riffner will dangle. Cross pass, looking for Drass. Turned over. Here comes Reitz, but Drass gets his skate in the lane to break it up. Colonials will chop at this one. End up on Riffner's stick. 7 seconds until Connolly set free. And here he comes. Zeiss Miller gets a stick in there. Couldn't hold on. Colonials will have to regroup as they'll quickly send it in off the stick of Kravitz. A minute to go of 5-on-3 hockey. Riffner at the point, walks in, dangles, loses it.
No.
And here comes Logan Pierce the other way. Pierce puts it on. Moroska will hold and get the whistle with 48 more ticks to go in the 5-on-3.
That is a bad and unlikely miscarriage there from Riffner. You know, those are the ones that you have to have. But regardless, they still have a lot of opportunity here with 3-on-5 hockey, and they got to make the most of it. They have to, because this Penn State team has been relentless throughout this third period. They've done a really good job of just shutting pretty much everything down.
Here come the Colonials. Off the stick of Kravitz to the outside. Push forward the bar to the outside. The shot from Zeiss Miller, or Bosong, excuse me, as he gets dragged to the ice. Sent all the way down. 30 more seconds on the 2-man advantage with 1 chasing. The give forward to Bosong as they enter. Bosong settling up high to Kravitz. In front, blocked away and cleared by the Lions. Colonials could never get anything set up. The Lions were swarming on this PK.
Yeah, some self-inflicted wounds there from Robert Morris. A couple block shots on their own end by their own players. Some passes that they couldn't corral. Those are things that you have to get in shape on, or else, well, you see the end product. They're still down, and they had 2-man advantage for about a minute.
1-goal game still with 11.5 to go and favoring the team in blue. As a hard hit there from Page. Or Kravitz, excuse me. Puts towards the side of the net. Bounces out to Conley. To Kravitz. He'll dance into center ice. Takes 1 man down. Works to the outside. Kravitz puts one wide of the net. Bounces towards Brosong's vicinity. As they'll keep it alive with Bucci flying over. Now Hanna. Down the right wall. Puts one on. Rebounds loose. Colonials were there. Bounces to Reitz. And then bounces the Colonials again. Outside pass. Here come the Colonials on the back pass.
Missed opportunity there from Penn State. A wide open rebound chance.
Bucci got his leg tangled with a Lion. They wanted a call. None given. as now the Lions will storm in. As Bucci stands up with a hit, as power play coming up for the Lions, as they say that he got his knee in there for a trip.
And that is a tough break for the Colonials. Another trip to the sin bin. I honestly, Caden, I've been calling hockey for a good bit. I've never seen so many penalties in a game called. Not to say that they shouldn't be called, but just a lot of undisciplined hockey to start.
As Colonials tried to sneak an extra man onto the ice. As they'll get the medic over to the Lions bench for an injured player.
And this Lions head coach, or whatever you want to call him, has been relentless all night, has really had his voice heard. I have to imagine the ref has spoken some words to him to maybe get him to, I don't want to say shut up because that's not the right word.
Just to lower the volume.
Yeah, just a bit.
So they got Bucci for the trip. Colonials argue it was a shoulder. That's something that if we had replay we could tell you. We just have not pulled that up yet. We're going to go with the ref's word, though. Shot on net, stop Moroska, rebound loose, a couple extra whacks, it comes free. Riffner into the corner, and we'll send this one past the center ice.
Beautiful clear there by Riffner. Not an easy path to get that out. Was able to put it on his forehand and was able to get it out of there.
Sent off the stick of Lunger. Colonials at the blue line, holding strong, and will push this one all the way down. Couple sticks flying behind the play as Connolly, the madman he is skating like there's no tomorrow. And that's just been the nature of his game.
And they need a glue guy like that, Caden, a guy that really just flies around everywhere, eyes on the puck pretty much the entire time. That's a good thing to have in a hockey squad.
Call him Brandon Tanev. He's not the biggest guy on the ice, but man, he's the most noticeable at times. Zach Conley's hit attempt does not go. Miles getting back and looking to go around Moroska will break it up. 38 seconds on the Bucci penalty. Turning shots blocked. Pops free to the Colonials as they'll skate with some steam. A shot knuckle pucked around the wall. And this will end up on Zach Page's stick at his own blue line. He'll hold wisely, let the clock tick to his favor. And now we'll send it out. As here comes Zach Connolly. Gets pushed off the puck. And the Lions have a break the other way. Here's to the outside is Gudas. Backdrop pass to Reitz. His shot stopped Moroska as the brother Bryce will joust behind the net with a Lions player. Talk about being a good younger brother there to help your older brother in the crease.
And again, just reasonable to expect. Your brother's in the crease. You got someone crashing your blue. I have no doubt in my mind that he would pull something like that. And again, the aggression, the chippiness, all that is going to heighten in this last 8:30 and some change to go.
2 seconds remain on the Bucci penalty. As we vaguely mentioned earlier, there's a Lions player getting checked out on the far side of the wall with the medic to his attention. And off the draw, beautifully done. Oh, did they get him? They say Kravitz went early. Too many men on the Colonials.
And that was so close, Caden. That was almost a thing of beauty. But just a little too quick on that line change there.
They'll send Kravitz to serve it, as the rule is if the guy off the bench touches it before the guy on the ice is within a certain feet, they're going to get you every time.
And that's a double whammy there, Caden. Not only do they not get the opportunity to go down and score, they're now dealing with another penalty kill and a crucial part of this game that they need to score.
Would have been an odd man break for Kravitz the other way and could have been game-changing. But another kill for the Colonials begins off another self-inflicted wound. behind the net. Lions look to get on the sharp shot of Mrazka. Gets the paddle down. Makes the stop. 22 ticks remain. Or separate, excuse me.
Caden, I think the key factor in why Penn State has done a really good job getting in front of the net is simply the corner. I think their corner skating has been really good. They've been able to beat that edge throughout the entire night, and that's where their opportunities are coming from. As we are going to reset here.
8:07 on the game clock, 1:37 on the penalty clock. In a one-goal affair favoring Penn State Behrend. Off the draw, shot from Hannah. Mrazka squared to it and gets a couple more ticks off. Ever since that first 10 minutes or so, Mrazka has really settled into his play.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a rough start for him. As I mentioned earlier, a little bit of misfortune, some pucks that bounced really awkwardly, and Penn State was able to capitalize on that. He's done a very good job since those ensuing 10 minutes to start this game.
Puck will exit and make its way towards the RMU scratches. It will stay inside with a .24.
Caden, as far as the other keeper goes in Riley Gusky, he hasn't really had to do a whole lot in this third period and end of the second period. At that, Penn State has done a really good job of controlling the puck and not really letting anything get to him if Robert Morris had the control.
To the point. It'll be Esplin. Plays this one down low behind the net. In front and cleared by Barr. Colonials will send 3 to the bench and get some fresh legs on. Directing traffic is Esplin. He'll roll to the outside. Mrazka will chase him down. Has the whole left wall. Puts it on net. Saved by Brock Mrazka. Rolls to Brock Mrazka and a lot of extra whacks to the glove. And Zach Conley takes down a man double his size. Oh, strength.
And, you know, we talk over and over again about needing a spark. I mean, if you see a guy double your size and the guy on your team half the opponent's size take another man down, if that doesn't get you going, I don't know what does.
Couple extra whacks. Brock Mrazka's glove draws a crowd. 42 seconds to go on the man advantage for Penn State Behrend. As off the faceoff went a little too clean and will exit the zone. Pierce will re-corral it. Gets it across center. Chips it in. First to Ibuchi. Chips it to DiDomenico. Hit the other way from Penn State Behrend. Shot attempt. Mrazka there. Clearing attempt. Bounces their Lions' way. DiDomenico looks to go off the wall, and he does. As he clears this one off, Colonials will change a couple.
How about this PK unit, Caden? You know, they've had to face quite a few kills in this third period, and they have not let anything.
Well, as Bryce Mrazka lays the body, as does Bucci, and with 6 minutes to go, everyone's going to play like it's their last. Huge hits along the wall. Here come the Colonials. Nate Barr looks to take it himself, spins, and loses it. Sent back in by RMU off his own player, and offsets. 5:58.
Yeah, Caden, expect around that 2-minute mark for Mrazka to possibly hop out of the net if they don't get one before then. This is a close one here, folks. Very close one. I'm anxious to see how the players will play. And as you mentioned earlier, this Robert Morris squad hasn't had to deal with adversity like this. They didn't have to a lot last year, and here we are in our first game. And we're down 1 with 5:45 left to go. How will you respond?
Riffner. Push forward to Kravitz. Loses it looking for Riffner. He'll have to get it back. Through the stanchions, perfectly placed by the Lions. Riffner will chip this one in. Forwards on the chase, Bosong and Kravitz. Guidos looks to get it around. At the blue line, they could not keep it alive, as they'll chip this one back in off the stick of Reitz. This will bounce toward the Penn State bench and picked up. Colonials changing on the fly. Hanna puts it in. Antonellis gets hit off the puck. Reitz and Antonellis tied up and cleared down towards the blue line. Shaking the hit and dragged down is Romano.
A little bit of a grab there on that one.
Maybe got the hand around.
Not so much a hit.
Maybe got the hand around there. Behind the net, Antonellis.
4:30 left to go, Caden. These guys got to pick it up here before we're going to have to pull the keeper. Good job skating there. Opportunity, and there it is!
Chris Conley. What a feed by Zeiss Miller. And Chris Conley on the back door. Make no mistake. We are tied at 5. And you talk about the player of the game, it might be number 3. He has been all over the ice, hitting, speedster,
and he
passing, and now scoring.
And Caden Conley puts himself in such great positions to get the puck. But Elijah Zeiss Miller, that goal does not happen without him. The resiliency to get the puck down here in the corner, and a beautiful feed right in front of the net, and we have ourselves a game here with 4:30 to go.
The comeback for the Colonials has completed its cycle. If you're a statistics guy, it's 0-0 at this point. Zach Conley sends it in. On the chase comes Zeiss Miller, off a beautiful assist. Had a goal earlier in the game to make it a 1-goal game. Icing called on RMU.
Caden, that wasn't even a 30-second possession there, but you could see guys are really flying around now. These guys are going AWOL.
Zach Conley will get the secondary assist on that goal. As mentioned, Zeiss Miller the primary, Chris Conley the goal. 5 different goal scorers for the Colonials tonight. 2 different goal scorers for Penn State Behrend. Brendan Reitz with 4 goals, as well as a goal from Jacob Hanna. On the other side, Barr and Bosong with power play goals. Riffner, Zeiss Miller, and Christopher Conley with the others. Here is Zeiss Miller. He'll chip it along the wall. Wrestling away is Romano. Conley will get a whack in there, and he'll push forward with some steam. Chris Conley tries to put it on, gets taken down towards the wall with an extra whack his way.
Just the hustle. What a play there to keep it in. Nope, that was offsides. Chris Conley, man, he is all over the place. As you see him give a shot down on the other end.
He's everywhere. Here the other way, Bryce Morozka looks to go in front. Chris Conley to the outside, looking for a man. Couldn't get to the stick of giraffes. As now the lines go, there's Morozka all over him. To the far corner. Be picked up by Milton. Battled away, Colonials will clear and send this to center ice. Thrown back in by Taylor. Around the horn, Riffner waiting for RMU. Under 3 to go. They'll hold. They'll sky this one all the way down on net. The clearing attempt will go to center ice in RMU favor. Julian Drass turned over as Hanna will push it towards the wall. Hanna looks down low for Reitz. Bounces towards the wall. Borowska will clear past the stick. No icing. Colonials will change. D-to-D pass from Taylor. Goes across for Pierce. Turned over off the hit from Kravitz. Klim bounces towards Barr's vicinity. He'll chop at it. Kravitz gets in the lane. They'll get around Bushi and push it toward the Colonial zone. Riffner steps away from 1. Make it 2. Into the zone spinning. Puck possession has been key for the Colonials. As of recently, Riffner a big part of it. Works his way up high. Looks for the corner, no one home. As they'll wrap behind the net. Around the horn, Bosong looks to pick it off, couldn't settle. With $1:30 to go. Getting a stick in there, rolls behind the net. Zach Conley has a little trouble with it. Has a man draped all over him, rolls to the shot at Hannah. Stopped by Maraska with 1:24.
Another great save there from Maraska. He's finally being tested here in this third period. I'd say about 15 of the remaining 20 minutes left. You know, he has not really been tested. Robert Morris has done a really good job of possessing the puck and not really letting it get to Maraska as much, but you're starting to see that pick up just a little bit more.
Barr wins it to himself off the draw, gives it forward to Kravitz. He'll throw this one on net. Colonials, Zach Conley with speed, looks to throw it on, loose in front, caught in the skates. As Penn State looking to strive forward, eventually get it to their blue line. Zach Conley all over it. Sends it back in, a minute to go. 5-5 tied game here at the Olympic Ice Arena. Down low, Bosong settles for RMU. Shakes off the hit, has Kravitz from the sharp angle. Blocked away by Guidos. Lions will clear. Zach Conley waiting patiently, throws it back in as he gets wrestled to the ground. Outside pass, having some trouble is Lunder. Lunger gets around one to Guidos, gets sidestepped. Bucci sends it forward for Romano. Romano down the right wall. Puts this one wide of the net. Zeiss Miller to pick it up. Zeiss Miller behind the net takes the hit. Waiting there is Lunger. Gets met by Connolly, now Romano. 15 seconds to go. Connolly at center. Sends it out wide off the boot of Zeiss Miller. Foot race down. Looks to go up high. Has a chance. Shot coming in. Glove stop in front. And we see some pushing in front of the net of Gusky. An A-plus chance for RMU.
The shot attempt was high shelf with 3 seconds remaining. Riley Gusky, great job to get the mid up there. And, oh, no, okay. We did think that Robert Morris was going to pull their goalie for this last possession down here, but they're not going to.
Would have been not a far-fetched tactic.
But is it worth it?
Probably
3
not.
3 seconds if Penn State wins the faceoff. That's not an impossible goal from all the way down here.
Conley tied up off the draw. Rebound in front for Rip.
Oh, man!
Oh, perfectly executed. But the pad in the post of Gusky meet Riffner.
Oh, man, the iron was there. It was so close. This game was going to end on the buzzer pretty much, and that was such a great save by Gusky to get pretty much his skate on that puck there, to bounce it out a little bit, and it hit off the iron, and we're going to have a 5-minute overtime period, Kaden.
We'll keep it here. I think we have a lot to discuss here.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, really. Absolutely. You know, I think, and we said this throughout the show, or the game, you know, we expected the aggression to pick up, and it absolutely has, especially those last 2 minutes in front of the net on both sides. You see these guys really ramping it up and getting aggressive. And again, that's part of the game, and it's a great part of the game. You know, we don't love when guys get hurt or, you know, get chipped or, you know, something dirty. That's not part of the game. But it is so much fun to watch, because the reason why they're getting aggressive is because they're actually trying, and that's what we love about this.
5 minutes of overtime, 3-on-3 is what we'll have. To just give you the recap if you missed it, Brendan Reitz got things going with 3 straight goals for Penn State. RMU battling back with a Carter Bosong power play goal. Jacob Hanna strikes for Penn State. And then on the power play, Nate Barr makes it a 2-goal game. As we get into the second, Reitz gets his 4th of the game. And since then, the Colonials have battled back with 3 unanswered. Ryan Riffner, followed by Elijah Zeiss Miller, and then Chris Connolly with a couple minutes to go to tie this game at 5. A lot of penalties, a lot of hits, a lot of chippiness, a lot of goals. And who would have thought we've ended up here with extra time?
Yep, we're going to be playing, is it 3v3 hockey here?
3v3. It'll be Hanna, Reitz and Esplin going up against Barr, Riffner, and Kravitz. Penn State shooting to the far end, RMU to the close end. RMU in white, Penn State in blue. Here we go. Esplin with speed coming down the Colonial wall as that shot gets deflected off the stick of Riffner, out of play.
Katie, it comes back to, again, Penn State being able to beat Robert Morris around the corner. That's how that shot attempt came into fruition there. That's something that Robert Morris, even with 3 guys on the ice, has to do a lot better here in this last 450.
Face off to the left of Morozko on the right circle. Tied up between Hanna and Barr goes Penn State's bounce. And it'll be sent down by Esplin. Riffner looks to go along the wall. Esplin will hold. Looks to stutter step away. Looks behind the net. Riffner there to meet him. Esplin spins away once more, goes up high to Hanna. Down low to Reitz. Reitz at the blue line, walking, looks to feed down low, taken away by Riffner as he looks to battle through. Pokes off one, does not get around Hanna. Now the other way. The pass ends up on Reitz's stick. Reitz down the left wall, looks to come in, diving play from the Colonials to break it up as John Wayne Kravitz gets down with the body. Here comes Nate Barr down the left wall. Looks to put it on. Wide past the glove. Colonials get 2 fresh bodies on the ice. Esplin down the left wall. In front. Reitz. Shot. Save Morozko. Antonellis meets him there. Both throw this toward the Colonial wall. Foot race. Colonials will beat it out. As Connolly looking for reinforcements. Will turn from one. Dangles.
There he is.
Behind the net. Connolly looks. Has Bosong with them, as well as Antonellis. They'll push him to the outside. Does Reitz and get the change to at least get 1 body on the ice. Forward pass for Antonellis. Could not get there, as Behrend will look to control the pace. Jacob Hanna still staying on the ice. He's been out here for the full 2 minutes. Antonellis draped all over him. Pierce on for defense, and joining him is Lunger. Connolly, Bosong, and Antonellis, the unit for RMU, as they look to push up high. Lunger can't dance around. Colonials will hold along their bench, and sent in by Antonellis. They'll get the full 3 changed on the ice, as they actually get him for an icing.
Wow.
That was very delayed. But they'd end up getting 2 on. So Antonellis got stuck. But Morozko and Zeiss Miller successfully got on. Kudos comes on in exchange for Hanna, who had a 2-minute and 40-second shift. Here comes Zeiss Miller down the right wall. Has Morozko with him. Looks to feed through the middle. Could not get there. And now the other way. Lunger looks to dangle in, broken up by Riffner. They'll throw it forward to Zeiss Miller once more. Has 1 to beat. Fires it on net. Stopped by Gusky. And he'll hold on to this one. 2:15 to go.
Routine save there from Gusky. Great break there for Robert Morris. It's a good job of getting into the other own. In the other end. How about the play so far from Ryan Riffner tonight, man? He has been, he's just one of the complete players in this game. He really could do it all. And, just when you think he's playing so high on defense, he's able to recover, playing so high on offense, he's able to recover on defenses. He's going to be tested here.
Top units back out, shot from Hanna.
There it is.
Or D'Amico, and he scores. Neil D'Amico gets the upstairs goal on Morozko and will win it in overtime for Penn State Behrend. A 6-5 victory for the Lions. As for the Colonials, battled all the way back to get to this point. You got to hold your heads high here. As we said time and time again, this is a D2 team playing a D4 team. You got to give all the credit in the world to the D4 team.
Yeah, and, obviously it's hard to hold your head high on a loss, but I think we saw a lot of good things from this Colonial squad tonight that they'll definitely be able to get it done going forward. I thought they played really well, but just did not reflect that on the scoreboard tonight.
Neil D'Amico with his second goal of the season. The OT winner in this one. As the Colonials drop to 0-1 in full play, they'll meet again in just a couple weeks. So it's not the end of it for these two teams to meet, as this seems to be a quote-unquote rivalry that will continue to brew as time goes on.
Yeah, and you know, Caden, you titled it earlier on in the game sort of a grudge match, so to speak. This Colonials team did lose to this Lions squad last year, and there's going to be a little bit of a chip on their shoulder going throughout the year and when they do meet again. And I'm excited to watch that game.
Colonials fall with 2:07 to go on the clock. 6-5 loss, but Penn State Behrend battles after RMU with a 3-goal comeback in the last 30 minutes or so of this hockey game. You got to give the credit to Gusky. A lot of chances his way at the end of that game, but stood tall, stood the task, and just a little luck with that post being his best friend with 1 second to go.
Oh, man, Caden, I had a perfect angle of it down here. That's what we were talking about, the perks and the hurts, so to speak, of being up top or down low. It was a perfect angle. He got his skate on that puck, and that seemingly saved the game right there.
Reaches 4 goals, followed by Hannah, and then D'Amico in overtime. Both Song Bar power play goals for the RMU, followed by Riffner, Zeissmiller, and Connolly. Our next broadcast will be next week as RMU D1 will take on RIT for 2 games over on the Clearview rink. That'll be an 8 o'clock start time next Friday and a 2 o'clock start time next Saturday. As for the D4 Colonials, they'll head on a little road trip to get their road season started and look for their first win in divisional play. And that'll come up all next week. But your final score here tonight, Penn State Behrend 6, Robert Morris 5. From our whole crew here, Sam Palmer working the camera, Elena Bailey on the scoreboard, Billy DePew, thanks for always coming in on short notice to help us out.
Of course. I love it, man. I love Robert Morris hockey. This was a gift tonight, and I appreciate you guys having me out. What a great game.
I've been Caden McCrory. Thank you all for joining in for tonight's contest.